Stop name-calling one another. Stop cursing one another. Stop gossiping about one another. Stop squabbling with one another. Stop being discourteous and disrespectful to one another. Stop fighting one another. Stop killing one another. Stop using and selling drugs to one another. Stop throwing down trash where black people have to live, work, and play. Did I say stop stealing, stop robbing? Now, as I said, the pressure of the white supremacy dynamic that forces black people to think negatively about themselves and set up negative environmental conditions will produce these negative behaviors. You see, but that's just like somebody putting you in check from the other side of the board. So you have to learn the tactics and strategies, the behavioral tactic and strategies, do you see, that will stop that from happening. So you're constantly on the offensive and the defense about preserving or evolving and developing a very positive image and concept.
And I'm back. This is Brian HRap B. Williams. This is the End of the Bench Media. I'm on the wrong camera. Now I'm on the right one. Thank you for tapping in. This is a few minutes with HRap. For the second time in the last hour, something different. We talk about things that we need to work on. And as usual, I want to thank my parents, Dolores and John. Without Dolores and John, there would be no me. Without me, you'd be doing something else with your valuable time. And thank you for sharing your time. As usual, you know what I want you to do. If you are not watching this live, all I need you to do is go to www.theendofthebench.com, www.theendofthebench.com. That's where you can get this video in its entirety. And right next to it, to the right of it, you will see a Black History video from Country Boy on One Mic History. I'm going to show some love and show how great we are today. It's not going to be, it is an oppressive situation because when you're dealing with the United States of America, we always overcoming things. This is why you need to understand your history did not start in 1619. Your history started at God said, let there be light. That's when your history started. Point blank, period, end of story. I'm not going to talk to you about anything else. But what I do want to talk to you about today is the fact that we need to work on some things that we really want true liberation and freedom. True liberation and freedom comes with work. And when you're willing to work, you'll get those things. Our ancestors showed us that work cannot be supplemented in any way, shape, form, or fashion. If you are going to be successful, you're going to work. And sometimes you're going to take the L. Sometimes, put it in layman's terms. Sometimes you're the pigeon. Sometimes you're the statue. So to avoid any days being as few days as possible being the statue, what we're going to do is work on some things that I think will help us be better people. With that being said, let me go ahead and proceed. Thank you for tapping in. I want to say hello to anybody who's watching. If you're watching before, after, or during the podcast, I need you to hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that thumbs up. And at the end, after Dr. Amos Wilson speaks, what I want you to do is come in and let me know this sucked or whatever, where you come from. Do something once the program completely ends. That helps me put me in the algorithm. And I thank you for tapping in. As the screen says hello, thank you for your support. And I'm going to jump right into it, man. This is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about things that I think we need to do to improve our community. Our community needs a lot of work because we are suffering from PTSD, post-traumatic slave syndrome. Look up Dr. Joy DeGruy if you want to find out more. She's one of the foremost thought-provoking people in the history of this wretched criminal enterprise called the United States of America. Yes, I said it, criminal enterprise. And if you don't like it, if you don't like me, it sucks to be you. Now, with that being said, we are dealing with a lot. We're dealing with the stresses that life brings. We're dealing with the stresses that government is pressing upon us, and these posers on TV. Hey, we're going to do everything we can because no one needs to lose their Medicaid. And then you prove the greatest bill ever and let this white nationalist have reign over the entire government, which lets me know, as George Carlin said 30 years ago, the country is bought and sold for by the people at the top. The rich people control things. But what we can do is keep our money in our pockets and circulate it amongst each other and never deal with anybody else. But in order to get there, we must do away with the ups. What are the ups? We need to learn how to, we need to work in the midst of the ups. I apologize. What are the ups? The shut ups. When you have an older person talking to you, I don't care if it's an older homeless person. He's lived on this earth longer than you. Or he has more experience than you. So why don't you shut up and just listen? See, or if you're talking to somebody with more experience than you and they're younger, shut up and listen. Maybe they have more knowledge than you. Shut up and listen. See, people love to be the star of the show. Hey, look, man, HRap, he a smart guy. HRap be knowing a lot of stuff, but you know what? Because HRap know how to shut the hell up. I got a homeboy who I talk to on a regular basis. I don't have no friends. I got brothers and I got others. Steve Lott is one of the people I consider a brother. Steve Lott is a literal scientist. He's a literal scientist. He has a degree in chemistry. And when Steve is telling me about health and wellness and things like that, he literally had to say, hey, man, you listening? I'm like, yeah. He's like, why you ain't saying that? I said, because I'm listening. And he's so used to people interacting and interjecting because, hey, I'm smart too. I'm smart too. But you're not smart in what he's smart in. So why don't you shut up until you know something and then you can blow up and grow up? That's what all I'm saying. We do too much talking. Oh, I Googled it. No, so what? I don't give a damn about what you Google. I know. I didn't have to Google. I did this. Enter. And it came up. It came up. That's how I Google. And when you people, someone like Steve Lott or others, we need to learn how to shut up. You know, if somebody is presenting something that you believe is a falsehood, shut up. Because guess what? One of the greatest liars in the world. I ain't gonna say his name. You know who you are. You listen and you support, and the people who support know who I'm talking about. He my man though, but you know what? He even gives me the ability to look into some of the things he says, which is a total made up thing in his mind. But you know what? That made up thing will take me down a rabbit hole and it will enhance me. You don't have to tell people you a lie. Just don't trust them. You know, something else we need to do in regards to that shut up thing. Just because I live my life different than you live your life, you don't have to comment on my life. How about that? Because if you just shut up, how about this? You know how much money you would have if you stop putting in your 2 cents? You probably wouldn't have to go to work for the rest of your life if you keep your 2 cents to yourself. So shut up. Get with the ups. Shut up and listen up, because it's something that you don't know. Every day you should learn something. I don't care if it's you learn how to catch a mouse. You didn't know that yesterday. If water a plant, you didn't know that yesterday. You know how many times I listen to my daughter? She's half my age. I'm 20. I'm 55. She's 27. That's just about half. She half my age. And guess what? She teaches me something every time we talk, whether it be some type of young people slang, or makes me emotionally more intelligent, or makes me reflect on something I just said. So now I'm smarter because I knew I said something stupid. That's how you listen and you learn. You have 2 ears and 1 flapping ass mouth for a reason, because God wanted you to listen up and shut up more than blow up, speak up. That's the problem. We do too much speaking up. And even if the person is wrong, you don't have to look. What I want you to understand, if life is measured on breaths taken, live an extra month by simply shutting the hell up. Because you can't learn and talk. You can talk or you can learn, but you cannot learn and talk. We have too many people in our community attempting to be the guiding light, the shining star. No, it's not about you. It's not even about me. Even though you guys, to the tune of last month, 425,000 people tapped in to that tune. Even though y'all listen to me, I understand that sometimes I have to shut up and listen up, because You can teach me if I'm wrong, and you come in this chat room and I come in, I tap it and I read. Oh, I didn't know that. Now, guess what? I shut up, read, listened up, and learned. There's nothing wrong with not knowing, which leads me to my second point of the day. This is going to be a quick episode because I just did an episode for 40 minutes and I'm tired of talking. How about that? I'm tired of running my yap. Now, with that being said, I did it the wrong way. Let me get back to the right way, and then I'll be with you to see. I was talking to myself. I wasn't shutting up when I was putting this together. Bam! Now we back. And we got action. Ignorance isn't bad. Willful ignorance is. Left one word off. Willful ignorance is. That's what it should have said, is. Now, what's the difference in ignorance and willful ignorance? Ignorance is the inability to have knowledge about something. I don't know. See, I don't know seems to be a profane word in today's society. Oh, man, I don't know. What's wrong with not knowing? You don't know everything. My greatest attribute in my life is this. I personally know that if you measured everything in the world that I don't know, you could make a whole nother world just based on the stuff that I don't know. So ignorance, it ain't bliss, but it ain't bad. Oh, I know about that. No, you didn't, because I'm lying. You didn't know about that. I made it up. But see, willful ignorance is bad. What is willful ignorance? When I try to teach you or show you or instruct you or give you the blueprint to enhance your knowledge base and you reject it. I don't really know. I don't even know about all that. Yes, you do. I don't give a damn what it is. If you are the most devout Christian in the history of the world, if you got Jesus t-shirts, drawers, hats, and socks, if you wear a cross, if you wear one of them things that the Pope wear, you just Christian down. You do need to learn about Islam. You do need to learn about Buddhism, Judaism, and any other Yahweh. You need to learn about everything, because you know what? One thing I've discovered in my 55 years of living, God didn't put this stuff here for nothing. So maybe you need to learn about it so you can stay the hell away from it. See, I'm from the hood. I'm from one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in these United States of America. It is notorious. Don't make a difference. None of your business where I'm from. But I'm from that community. But I have never used any street level drugs, even something as simple as marijuana. But I know about just a second. Thank you, Alfred. I know about marijuana. I've understood. I've read about marijuana. I've listened to doctors speak about marijuana. I've heard about THC and how they take those things and cannabinoids and help you heal and give you anti-inflammatory properties. I know about that because it's beneficial to me to know about CBD and THC and things of that nature. See, CBD, you rub it on, you get some relief. THC is the thing that gives you that sensation that we call high. See, I've never used it, but I understand those concepts. I understand that those things that are in hemp and the tree and the plant called marijuana, those two things help people. Those were put here for medicinal purposes. They were not for recreational purposes. But guess what? Sometimes people come home, blow one, get a little something to drink, and that's what stopped them from snapping the hell off. But see, it's the devil's lettuce. No, what it is the abuse of anything. Coca leaf. I've never put anything up my nose. I've never shot anything in my hand, in my arm, and I've never smoked anything out of any drugs out of a pipe. Cigars, I smoke. But when you have coca leaf, it is a numbing agent. It is a numbing narcotic. Narcotic is a downer. And you have inflammatory properties in pain. So if you put it on a scar or something, it will numb it and reduce the pain so you can have a monicum of comfort. These are things that were put here for medicinal purposes, and people use chemicals and other things who put them in other ways. Willful ignorance. I don't really know about politics, but you drive you either ride a bus, ride a train, or drive just about every day of the week. 365 days, you're probably in a vehicle 300 of those days. At least the average person in America is in some form of motor vehicle, whether it be plane, bus, train, passenger of a car, at least 300 days a year at a minimum, the average. I know somebody, well, not me, of course. See, that's when you need to shut up. That's when you need to go back to point number one, the ups. Shut up and listen up. Back to the point. Willful ignorance is not understanding what's going on around you and thinking you're going to pray yourself out of a bad situation. As I said the last episode, you can pray all you like, but you don't take no action. I hope I get a raise. I hope I get a raise. Oh, God, please give me a raise. God, are you going to work tonight, Rap? No, but I need a raise. Don't work that way. I got to go to work. I got to do my rounds. I got to do the paperwork. I got to do everything I have to do at work tonight so they can gauge me. And then the union, I ain't getting no raise, which I didn't in February. But the union, I talked to the union steward. It is what it is. But if anybody at work watching, I didn't. But like I was saying, this is what I want you to understand. And I'm being facetious, but I do want you to understand. You must understand the processes. You cannot walk around with blinders on. Your life is tied into my life, which is tied into his life and her life and their lives. There is no rugged individual. Oh, well, see, it don't bother me, so don't worry about it. So when that wicked shows up at your door, please don't come on the television. My baby ain't never hurt nobody. Nah, but because it didn't hurt your child at that point. But we need to do this. This is kind of the kind of thing that spreads wicked things like crack cocaine and heroin. Because see, my brother don't get high, my sister don't get high, my aunt don't get high, my uncle don't get high, my parents don't get high, my grandparents don't get high. I'm cool. But negativity permeates all around you. So if you are not locking arms with people in your community, whether it be violence, whether it be academics, whether it be civics, whether it be anything, burglary or anything, criminality, anything in your community, if you're not working in lockstep with the people who are around you, you are failing not only you are failing your children and you're failing your grandchildren. I don't like him down the street. Ain't nobody asked you to like him down the street. But guess what? You might not like Mr. Jackson and I'm Mr. Williams. You may not like either one of us, but your children don't have anything to do with me. So if I saw your child get hit by a truck, get abducted by a stranger, get anything erroneous happen to your child, I'm stepping up. See, we don't have to be friends. And to me, that's one of our problems. We're ignorant enough to believe that we need to be friends. No, we need to be neighbors. We need to be a community. We need to be a tribe. We need to be a clan. We need to be a culture. We need to be a community. And we need to be a culture, not friends. Because if you love your child, guess what? I love mine. And if I love mine and you love yours, we love our children. And if we love our children, that's our bond. I don't have to ever talk to you. Good morning, Mr. Jackson, with your PA. And I could think that. Good morning, Mr. Jackson. Good morning, Mr. Williams, with your PA. Cool. But we out here killing for these children. We out here, you know what? That's Mr. Jackson's wife. Hey, I'm ready to hurt somebody about Mr. Jackson's wife. I'm ready to hurt somebody about Mr. Jackson's grandmother, his aunt, Mr. Williams, so forth and so on. Because you know what? I need Jackson to be looking out his window when my wife come up. I've actually been a part of a situation. I sat in the car for a second. Listen, you know how you park and your favorite song is on. You sit there, you listen to your song till it go off. You get out the car and someone, and you go in the house. My next door neighbor got robbed. Whoever was out here robbing, they waited till I went in the house. And she knocked on my door. She said, hey, this is my number. I got robbed when I watched you walk in the house, and they watched me get out my car and they robbed me. Going forward, if at all possible, if it's not too much trouble, can I text you at night and have you walk me? And I did it. I didn't know that lady. I still don't know. I don't even know that. In my phone, her name is Lady Next Door. I don't know that lady, but I don't even live there anymore. But her name still in my phone, Lady Next Door. I don't know her. Lady Next Door. That's all she was. And if we're ignorant enough to believe death don't affect us, your wife, woman, daughter, sister, niece, grandmother, mother is the lady next door, person to the man next door. That's why we can no longer be ignorant. So politics, we can no longer be ignorant. If you got some friends that's in the politics, you need to be talking to them. Damn if LeBron is better than Jordan. Because is that are you gonna run outside? Wait a minute. I agree. Jordan is better than LeBron. They go, okay, we're gonna rob your wife now. Get the hell out of here. It's not gonna happen. We need no more willful ignorance about healthcare. No more willful ignorance about politics. No more willful ignorance about academics. No more willful ignorance about policy, period. We can no longer be willfully ignorant. And to enhance this ability to be willfully knowledgeable, I'm going to play this video. It's important that you watch this. This is something that 99.9% of the people in our community have no idea that happened. I want you to look at it. I'm only going to play a snippet because you know what I want you to do. I want you to go to www.theendofthebench.com, or as you see on the screen, One Mic History by my main man, Country Boy. He's doing great work. But if you go to www.theendofthebench.com, what's going to happen is I'm going to get a little extra drive on my website. Then other people going to come, and other people going to come, and then it's going to be like this, that shampoo commercial, and two more people, and so on, and so on, and so on. Now, you know the goal, you know the mantra. The purpose of this podcast is to enhance life for our great-grandchildren's great-grandchildren. And if you're here to do that, watch this portion of the video. I'll be back shortly. It's your man, HRap B, two fingers. I'll be back shortly.
1784, a young man by the name of James Heming was torn away from his family, sent to France to master French cuisine, and then upon returning to Virginia, he became Thomas Jefferson's enslaved chef. And this story is just one in a disturbing pattern, because for centuries, Black cooks fueled America's culinary rise, but rarely saw recognition or the rewards. They labored on plantation kitchens, their skills stolen, and their contributions erased. But their legacy lives on from barbecue to soul food. So today, we're going to unfold the untold stories of Black cooks who shaped American cuisine. And if you like stories like this, you can find more stories like this at onemichistory.com. But without further ado, let's get started. To appreciate the history and the impact of Black cooks, we must journey back to the rich culinary traditions of pre-colonial Western Africa. Even though historical records from the era remain limited, vibrant ingenuity of these culinary practices remain evident in the ingredients.
It does that every time. I don't know why it gets to that point. It does that. I don't know why now. I said I don't know why, but I know now. But as you see, that's intriguing. Now you'll be less ignorant about cooking in America. How you think Asian rice? No, rice is from Africa. You think yam is a sweet potato? No, that's a sweet potato, not a yam. A yam looks like a tree trunk or an elephant leg. Learn some things. Enhance your mind. Be a better you. Never be as ignorant as people want you to be, because the more ignorant you are, the more you're able to control. The more you're able to control, the more they're able to shape and form you like a piece of clay. Do you want to be a piece of clay, or you want to be a human being? You want to be a human being. Clay has no purpose. You do. Again, God makes no blanks. Everybody is good at something. Now, before I shut this down today, and before I get through talking for the last 1 hour, 44 minutes, 1 hour, 4 minutes, distractions are deadly. That's how I'm going to shut this down. Distractions are deadly. Do I love pop culture? Indeed, I do. I love movies. If I'm not reading a book, I'm watching a movie. I used to be a dynamic sports watcher. I casually watch now, and because it's less intriguing to me. But some of those things are distractions. Distractions are good and bad. You can be distracted. You can use a distraction like me. When I come home at night, when I used to come home, I would cut up vegetables, I will make me a salad. I will cut up a bunch of cucumbers, some radishes. I will cut up onions, 3 different colors, mushrooms. I never use lettuce. I use kale. I use kale, and I would make me a salad. And then I would take the remainders of those vegetables while boiling rice, make me a stir fry real quick. Never using water. I mean, using water, never using oil. Stir it up real quick. Put everything in there. Let the juices and the water from the fruits and vegetables permeate. Put it on top of. Sometimes I throw a little seasoning on top. Cut up some garlic. Put it in there. Now I got a stir fry. I got some rice, stir fry, and a salad. When I'm done, the distraction of food prep put me in a better state of mind. I would literally break a sweat, not because of the heat, but because I am no longer existing in the world of anxiety, stresses of the workplace, of the world, of the commute home. Positive distraction. Negative distraction is giving a darn about Puff Daddy, giving a darn about Fat Joe, giving a darn about R. Kelly, and giving a darn about Bill Cosby. Do we want our brothers to be incarcerated? No, but guess what? God gonna catch up with you one way or another. That's just the way the universe works. Allah's not gonna have it. Look, I can even quote a Muslim. I've done it several times now. I can quote from Islam. If this is something from Islam, if you harm anybody, you harm the world in its entirety. If you harm one piece on God's green earth, you are harming the entirety of God's creation. That's why you don't want to put yourself in the trick bag of hurting people. But we can no longer be distracted by Sean Combs' verdict. Isn't it strange that, remember, if you watch this show more than one occasion, think about this. You had the distraction of Sean Combs. Meanwhile, they're opening up Alligator Alcatraz, a prison in the midst of a swamp. And the president literally said if they escape, they'll be eaten by the wildlife. I thought prison and containment camps were to put you in a specific place so that you will be detained and either deported or rehabilitated for your indiscretions, not eaten by animals. See, those distractions, the same thing. Friday, the verdict is coming down. The big, beautiful bill was passed. Now we suffer from lack of Medicaid, lack of Medicare, lack of school funding, billionaires getting tax reductions and things of that nature. And I don't care if you got a D or R in front of your name. What we need to do is go back to this ignorance thing. We can no longer be ignorant about the electoral process and find out who voted for what, and we need to make sure they never get elected again. See, because while you're sitting here hating Black people, hating Latino people, hating Asian people, hating African people, and hating the lower class people, you are getting screwed too. Because you understand that struggle bus, everybody get a ride on it. It's like the town bike. Everybody get a ride. So understand, you might be on that struggle bus, and if it's not you, guess what? What if it's your son, your daughter, your niece, your nephew, your cousin, your friend? Oh man, what can I do? Let's not wish I would anymore. So we can no longer succumb to these deadly distractions. We must be keenly aware of people like Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, who teamed up with the Republican Party and was going to increase taxes and reduce funds to improve roles and opportunities in the state of Louisiana. Oh no, we're going to get teachers raises, but if you close down 10% of the schools, what did that really do? You didn't give teachers raises, you shut down schools. We need to stop watching these programs. Look, 50, Curtis, hey, if you ain't for us, you're against us. If you're sitting around working with people who are kicking us in the behind, and if your defense is ignorance, sucks to be you. It ain't no more room to be ignorant. Nelly, you want to like the sister Reese Coleman said, you want to deal with coochie facts on Kamala Harris because you signed up and rocked with a white nationalist, and you trying to open the door to make sure at least I married a Black woman. Yeah, you married a Black woman, and your Black cousins, your Black homies, they're gonna be hurting. Their aunts, uncles, and cousins, they're going to be hurting because you stood up and supported a white nationalist. I was just trying to get that bag. Yeah. Well, we need to make sure you never get another bag. See, that's what we need to be with this thing. I'm not going to walk around angry with you, and I'm not going to walk around saying you don't need to be able to earn, but I will never support you. Never, ever. And I'm not asking anybody who support me to do the same. But in my opinion, that's what we need to start doing. Even with people like Snoop Dogg. I understand why Snoop Dogg did what he did, because the part owner of Death Row, the dude who put the money up for Death Row, is this dude named Michael Harris. Michael Harris was let out of prison rightfully. I don't think Michael Harris should have been 35 years in jail for selling drugs. Oh man, he was destroying the community. But if Oliver North and the CIA, the United States federal government, said they put that stuff in the streets so people could sell it, they could fund the war, and if I fell victim to your plan, how the hell am I going to jail? But that's a whole nother episode. So I understand why Snoop Dogg did what he did. But you know what, Snoop? You ain't going to come out and say it. So you need to suffer the consequences until you pay your bill. Yes, sir. You owe us an explanation in the community. Well, I helped out a bunch of people, and you helped out a white nationalist. And I understand why you helped out that white nationalist. But what you need to do is you need to get that hood grapevine going. Since you search for the hood, put that hood grapevine going. You ain't going to come out and say it. You tell somebody something in L.A. by Friday, by Monday morning, it'll be all over this country. Because everybody got a cousin in LA, everybody got a homie that's in LA, everybody got a teammate in this LA, and it'll go across the world like nobody's business. Be like your man KD and put it out on the stunt dummy Twitter account. Oh yeah, and it spreads. Bam, it's over. All you have to do is use your dummy account, then like it. Snoop Dogg like this, and it's gonna take off. See, but y'all not using the technology that's in front of us for the betterment. You just want to say cool and slick stuff, and then you want to get on the TV and be all apologetic and remind us of what you did. Nobody remembers what you did right when you do that diabolically wrong. Nobody remembers. Just like the great Dr. King, the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I had to educate one of my young homies. Man, stop talking about his indiscretions. Talk about what he did. Because I don't hear about, look, while you telling me that Dr. King may have been cheating on Coretta, we may have been. We know for sure that the president and his brother was knocking down somebody, and that's not my business. We know that for sure. You know, we don't talk about those two pages of history because they stuck together. See, we're going to stop doing that, man. These distractions are deadly. Do we want anything to happen to our heroes and our captains of industry that have fallen by the wayside and succumbed to their most illicit and destructive urges? No, we don't want them to get away with it. But we don't want to pay attention to individuals while the group is suffering. If one person, if this bottle of water that Alfred gave me has a fly in it, that don't mean don't open up the other bottles. That means put this to the side and then go tend to the rest of the water, or go get some filters so we can make sure all the water's clean, not focus on the bottle. With that being said, I did that in 32 minutes. I'm finna lay my monkey down. Thank y'all for tapping in. I need y'all to do what I always ask y'all to do. I need you to do this. Please hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Watch to the end. Dr. Amos Wilson has a message for you, as he always does. I need you to continue. Hit that subscribe. Thank you for tapping in. This is Brian HRap B. Williams. You see what the screen say. Have a great day, and thank you for the support. 2 fingers, 1 word, and I'm an HRap B, and I am
growth in wisdom, knowledge, you see, self-understanding and self-discovery, healthy relations, self-control. All those things are hateful. But this is the only way a minority can rule over a majority of people, is by turning their minds backwards so that they love the things that destroy them and hate the things that move them forward. In order for these people to rule over us, we must hate learning. It has to be built into us. We must think that we can't do math. Because you see, if we do math, if we were into learning, if we were into research and into thinking and into, real philosophical ideas and abstractions, we would defeat those people. They know it. So consequently, what they must do is rob you of all of these things so that they may stay in there.